This meeting is being recorded.
Hi guys, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. We'll be just starting in 2 more minutes and wait for the others to join in by then.
Hey Shanta.
Hi Shashan, just waiting 2 more minutes for others to join in as well.
Sure.
Hey Shanta.
Hi Rahul, just another 1 minute before we start.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, let's begin the webinar. We have a few more people joining in as well, but we'll start with it. So quick introduction. There is Aradhya and I from Team NRev. I am one of the co-founders and the CEO of NRev, and Aradhya leads everything product on the side of NRev. So any, we both will be able to answer any questions, any feedback, anything of that sort while we are building or showing you different automations and workflows. Also, happy to kind of pause at any point in time if someone wants to kind of dive deeper into any part that we're explaining. Um, we'll keep this slightly high level in terms of looking at the outcomes that we are able to get. But if you have any questions around, explaining further in detail on any smaller part, we'll be happy to do so. Right. So the agenda of today's webinar is to discuss three different automations. Um, We'll start with simpler automations. Actually, most of them are very simple automations. None of them, I don't think any of them are more than 10 or 12 steps. And these steps are fairly easy to follow and configure. So happy to kind of dive deeper in it. But I'll start more from a outcome perspective of what we are looking to do, and then move to what it looks like on the back end as a workflow and how we go about building it. Right. So what we've done for this webinar is we have, people joining us from different organizations, and we've decided that for any of these agents, if we take up actual examples of some of the organizations, then probably we'll be able to showcase um, the outcome in a more contextualized way. And happy to tweak it also during the entire webinar. Right? I'll quickly start presenting my screen and get into the workflows. So the first workflow that we'll talk about, and by the way, I'll be presenting one workflow, and then Aradhya will present the other two workflows. Also, Aradhya, just housekeeping thing. Do you have access to let people enter? Because I can see people in the waiting room, but while I'm sharing my screen, I won't be able to let people in.
Shantanu, I don't have it.
No problem. I'll probably find some alerts here and let people in. But all right. So the first workflow that we'll be discussing is something that each and every one of us have done this manually. Basically, we're looking for people within certain teams, right? So let's say for us, I was actually testing this out for personas that are important for us. But I think there's someone from Simple AI who's joined. So we thought Simple AI has a very strange persona. I mean, through keywords, it might be very tricky to kind of look for personas there because I believe they're looking for anyone who's tinkering with AI agents or building on AI agents. Now, a simple let's say a keyword-based search, something that a sales navigator or an Apollo allows us to do, would get us a lot of scrappy or non-relevant people when we're looking for any company, especially for people building in AI, because a lot of people have just mentioned AI, let's say project manager or things of that nature. Right? And we don't want those kind of people. We want people who have mentioned that they're building with, let's say, agentic solutions, etc. Right? So that being said, I was like let me just show you first, just type in some message saying that this is just a channel where anyone can have access. So I can just say, find me relevant, or just find me the right people in what fix, say, right? And this in the background will basically trigger a workflow, which I already have open here. And I wanted to quickly show you and walk through what is happening in this workflow. So the steps are very simple. It is listening to any new message in a channel, right? Now, the message that we are sending is a vague message, right? It does not. So this is the message. For example, find me people in Factors AI, right? I need to extract the name of the company so that I'm able to search through the search for people within that company. Right. So what I do is I simply have basic AI prompt that kind of comes in and extracts the name of the company from here. So once I move to the next step, this is a simple prompt that just tells me that goes through a Slack message and identify or return the through web search, give me the official website domain of this company. Right. And it gives me basically exactly that after it has gone through it. Third step is searching for people. This is as simple as just putting in that company domain that I had in the previous step, putting in the keywords that I'm looking at. So this is what I was kind of mentioning. The keywords kind of can have AI, agent, product management, anything of that sort that might be relevant to Simple AI, right? But while this will lead me to a lot of different, so I see 14 people have come in from this result. I want to typically just look for people who are actually building on AI agents, right? So one is, of course, founders. So I found all the founders for sure. But I mean, a lot of these are just basically software engineer factors.ai. I'm not sure whether they okay. So this person has actually mentioned building AI integrated backend platforms, right? So here we should be able to, see that this person has been classified as an AI agent builder, right? So these are personas that have kind of classified this under. And then once I'm filtering this out, I pretty much get only those people who are important for me. So I found two founders, right? Three founders and one person who has explicitly mentioned that they're building with AI agents. So once that is done, basically the last step is just replying to that same thread. So you will notice that here in my Slack, right? So find the right people for me in Botfix. It has identified and given me four people. If we just go through some of them, I'm sorry, I'm just taking a little bit of time to allow people to enter. But yeah, we see Khadim, of course, someone who is mentioned founder's office. Sorry, there's a Sajna, and this person is a product manager, right? And then we unfortunately haven't found someone who is, AI tinkerer, but we've at least found someone who's a founder's office, which was another persona that we had mentioned. So this was the first workflow which allows anyone in this channel to just put in a query and get the right people without having to worry about any other tool ever again. And this basically had that AI pretty much going through every single profile that the keyword-based search kind of got us, and then classifying it into personas and filtering the non-relevant personas out for us. I'll take a quick pause to know if there are any questions on this. But as I showed you, this is like just 5 steps to get to just finding the right person and never having to do this in a manual manner ever again. One last quick ask for any questions, or if you want me to kind of show you a deeper dive of what we've done in any of these steps, we'll be happy to do so. But just for the people who have entered late, very easy workflow. We're listening to a Slack channel where we find anyone from the team coming and saying that we need the right people in a certain organization. Then we find the domain of that organization because that person might have just mentioned, let's say, browser stack. Right now, browserstack.com is what we need. So we find that using a simple AI prompt and getting the official website of that company. Searching for people is as simple as just putting in that domain and looking for certain keywords. Then from those people that have been found from all their LinkedIn IDs, we ask AI to classify them into different personas that are important for us, and then have another class which says others so that we can filter these out, not important personas for us. And then finally, yeah, as I mentioned, filtering it out and replying to that same Slack message. Stops hours of effort for any team member in that chat. Right, since there aren't any more questions, or I probably missed out, and I'll reply to those chat messages in the conversation there. But I'll hand it over to Aradhya to show 2 more use cases. Aradhya?
Yes. Good evening. Am I audible? Yeah. So before I actually, get into the thick of things, like Shantu just showed us one of the use cases, right? And the whole philosophy behind NRev is to make sure that, anything and everything can stay very flexible. So for example, the moment, like in one use case, Shantu just said that, hey, we can actually build a Slack bot where the moment you dump in a company, it can actually figure out who are the relevant people and return it as a Slack message. Similarly, like if we go a step beyond, the journey doesn't end there. We have all the bells and whistles where, the moment you do this, you can actually, let's say, waterfall enrich their phone numbers, emails. You can even write them to, let's say, directly into your CRM, dump them into a Google Sheet and stuff like that. Right. What I'm trying to get to is that obviously this was one of the use case, right? But like what I am going to show you is going to be absolutely very different. So let me just share my screen.
Anyway, guys, quickly, let me also share how you can get access to the platform. Um, let me kind of post it on our chat. So yeah, Radha, if you could show, that's the best thing. Guys, if you are signing up or if you have access to the platform already, generally what happens is during these workshops, when we give access to people, we get extra amount of credits. So typically a person who's signing up gets 1,000 credits, but during these workshops, because we are also expecting you to, run these workflows, we give an additional amount of 1,500 credits. So feel free to log in and follow us on any step where you're building all these. Or, at the end of the workshop, we'll also email you the JSON file, which you can just upload into your system and run them to get these workflows running for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, Radha, for the introduction.
Yeah, so I've just to take a step back, I've shared the login URL on the chat. So as long as you have a Google Workspace account, a professional one, not no personal emails. You can simply just go in and select your email and you'll directly land into our page. Just to show you around some bells and whistles. So on NRev, we want to ensure that GTM folks are able to, experiment and build workflows with the least amount of effort as possible. So the moment you land in, there's simply a prompt box where you can, just come and type in what exactly you want to do. And we have a fairly robust AI builder, which will come in, plan, nominate the relevant blocks for you and create a workflow right from the scratch. If just to browse around, we also have a dedicated place section where whenever we feel something is, relevant for our customers, we keep on publishing them, and these are ready to use workflows. So we have some stuff around, let's say, tracking where your competitors are, interacting with, let's say, your ICP accounts. Similarly, if you want to score people on the basis of the LinkedIn interactions, relevant persona finder, by the way, which Shanto mentioned, is already there, ready to go, and a lot more stuff. You can generate personalized outreaches. Have a bot that scars through your emails to figure out that wherever you need to drop in a reply in any kind of an opportunity and stuff like that. Anyway, right for now, what we'll do is I'll try to build something around hiring signals. I mean, there are so many tools out there which try to give you different kind of product offerings. Where I mean, one of the hot topics is whenever a relevant person is getting hired into your ICP fit company, you can essentially get notified and find out a lot more. On NRev, what we'll do just now is uh, just to give you a brief of the workflow. Just a sec. Yeah. So I was just making this before the call itself, where we have just created a workflow where every week a bot will wake up. It will scour through Google Jobs around some relevant titles, figure out which ones are relevant, and then from the exact hiring company, it will figure out whether the company is an ICP or not. And it doesn't end here. The moment we figure out what exactly is a relevant ICP company, we have already plugged in something associated with finding the right hiring manager. Because at the end of the day, if you figure out that, hey, this person is hiring, this company is hiring, it will always be a lot more meaningful if we could actually figure out who's going to be the right hiring manager and actually reach out to them. Because at the end of the day, they're the budget holder. They're the ones who are moving things around and trying to lead an initiative which your company can actually solve and assist with. So, yeah, just to give you a glimpse of the kind of inputs and outputs we have. By the way, we have configured this for a company, Zenscar, where we are going to actually look out for these two job titles. I mean, these can be 100 if you want. And we have also configured some basic hiring manager keywords as well. So what it essentially translates to is a very simple Slack notification every week, where you get a simple notification that 2 ICP fit companies are hiring for this persona, 3 ICP fit companies are hiring for the other persona, and it will actually give you the sheet link, which will route you to a specific page where you get all the information around the hiring company, why we feel it's ICP qualified, the exact title for which they're hiring, the description, when it was posted. And this is an interesting one. So the workflow we've built out, actually, if we just check out this specific block, right, where we're performing ICP, we have also used the job description to extract the exact tools that are required. So this can actually help you, craft your outreach in a way where if let's say they find a specific competitor, or perhaps a tool that you already integrate with, it can make a great case for you. Moving forward, we actually give
Very
you
interesting. We actually found NetSuite here as well, right? And I remember when we were doing this workflow, Zenstar mentions that it's the NetSuite for people who don't want that complicated a system. So you can even prioritize these companies which have certain tools that you have a battle card against.
absolutely. Then we also give you the hiring manager, why we felt their title, why we felt they're relevant, and even went out on a limb and created the first outreach message, right? And obviously, if you want to verify, you can actually go ahead and check out the actual job posting. Any questions here?
Just one question. Let's say we're looking at, large enterprises, right? Where,
Mhm.
one role can be within, just buried in the big hierarchies, right, of organization. How do you find that? I mean, do you come up with a couple of options, or are you coming up with something very precise? So that's just a question I had.
This is very interesting, Rahul. Actually, good. I think it's a very valid question. So yeah, go ahead, Aradhya. Sorry.
Yes, Rahul. So in this case, Rahul, when we actually perform the person search, right? So we have actually mentioned the domain of the company. We have referred the hiring manager keywords. And as you can see, in this case, for 5 companies, 209 people came in, right? But this is where the AI summarizer node comes in and does the magic. So what we have done here is that we have essentially, I mean, the models today are good enough where you can actually dump the entire teams. And I've just written a very simple prompt. Obviously, this can be tweaked to any detail where you can actually nominate like why you should nominate a specific person and drive in very structured outputs. As you said, we can actually ask it to nominate up to 5 or as many people, and it will do the exact same job. So that won't be a problem. You can you're very right. In big enterprises, there can be many more people, and here instead of let's say uh, a single hiring manager, you can have multiple, and that can also go in.
And
Would you
also,
like me to? So perhaps what I'll do is I'll just tweak this a bit during the call itself after some time, where rather than one, we are able to generate a lot more hiring managers.
yeah, no, I was just saying, maybe if you have, like, if you look at this workflow, it'll be the most ideal if you know where this helps me target the right person, right?
Yes.
So, if you have access, and I know this is again something to think about, if there's access to systems that give you like a complete uh, walk through a hierarchy of what the company looks like and the teams, maybe that'll give you a better glimpse of, or more accurate results, right, when it comes to this. And I'm guessing you already partnered with a lot of them, uh, and I'm sure there'll be companies that'll have this kind of capabilities. But yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, till now, actually, what happens is when we are looking at org charts, they are in most cases presumed by AI
yeah,
to kind of understand the hierarchies. And that is exactly what we are doing here as well, where we kind of throw the entire team to AI and ask it to nominate the most relevant or X number of most relevant hiring managers. So in most cases, we've seen very good results from this itself. And rather, if we have the the hierarchy or the position, yeah. So
yeah, fair enough. But I think, yeah, this is still good in the sense that at least you short, even if you're not able to get to that, at least these 5 or 10 managers are the ones who are potential, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. And for each person, so what we're essentially doing here is, Rahul, that we look at a bunch of things. I'll just show you. So here, as you can see in this summarizer, we are looking at the location of the person because we are giving the city, then the title, headline, seniority, state. So this ensures that, let's say, if there is a big organization, let's say, which is divided into East Coast and West Coast or anything like that, right? So it will automatically prioritize the people on the basis of the location. Then to go a bit deeper as well, uh, let me just check. We do have the employment history. Yeah, we can even refer the employment history where you can actually look at the people who have already worked in similar roles where the similar roles or even closely related to any kind of a role for which the job is already posted. So you can tweak the prompt as much as you want to get as relevant people as possible.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, and yeah, I mean, as we discussed, right? This can actually evolve into anything. I mean, from here, you can actually look up your CRM and add this as a signal in your account research. In this case, I've done 2 things here. I've dumped everything in a single Google Sheet so that this stays as my historical record because this is going to work every week. And then, more importantly, I'm also notifying the people. Like this is a sample dummy channel where we are actually going to keep on sending notifications every week whenever around the kind of roles which are relevant to the team. Any other questions? Any ideas? I mean, this can evolve into a working session as well, where we can actually try to build something on top of this?
I think there have been a number of very creative implementations of signals. We the way different signals have been used. For example, jobs by itself I mean, it's not just one job, but you can use multiple job positions or, what the entire history of jobs of the hiring pipeline has been for a customer can give you a lot of information about what are the different responsibilities that they're looking to fill in, which gives rise to initiatives, sometimes even projects, etc., which really help in personalizing reach outs. So I think those all the different creative ways in which this can be implemented, absolutely, the workflows allow flexibility in that.
Yes. Cool. In this case, I'll just move to another use case, and I think this is quite a special use case for us. So we recently organized a workshop in Bangalore, and we realized that rather than just firing large scale outreach email, doing a lot of marketing campaigns, we went with a very simple philosophy that in a specific given city, in this case it was Bangalore, we'll just look out for all the companies where you already have, let's say, GTM engineers, RevOps folks, etc. We'll actually extract those companies, perform a basic ICP layer of filtering in terms of both the personas and the kind of companies that we are on the lookout for. And from that, we were
Actually, I'll add a little bit of context there. Sorry, Aradhya. And I think we've taken the example of Test Sigma for this case, which was very similar to our reach out as well. I mean, there are not too many companies in India who have GTM engineers in their teams, or there aren't too many companies in India who have marketing operations in their team. These two are personas that are very important for us because they are like the heaviest and self-sufficient users for NRev. So it is probably the easiest qualification in a lot of cases when we find the particular persona within an organization, right? And why we took the example of Test Sigma in this use case was that we saw that automation testing was one of the personas that they're looking at. And this is almost always true for any company. They have a very specific persona that can make that company a lot better fit as compared to a company that does not have that persona. Right, so this is the approach that we took for our event, and it also gives us a very localized approach towards, creating lists of accounts that become very good ICP fits.
cool. So I'll just share my screen and show you the kind of stuff we've done here. By the way, we have some messages. Oh, okay. Cool. I think Shanta has already taken care of them. Is my screen visible again?
Yeah.
Perfect. So imagine, let's say you're doing an event in Bengaluru or San Francisco. We've just made a very simple Google Sheet where we've just added, let's say, the name of the city and the kind of titles we're on the lookout for. And here, as you can see, we just read that Google Sheet. So by the way, for this, you can simply just go in, add your connection, and then refer, like the moment you do this, we can fetch all your Google Sheets actually, and even the worksheets around it. The moment you do it, all you have to do is hit run. And as you can see, it's just fetched the exact Google Sheet here. And now I can just go crazy and refer it as a variable anytime. So this, you can keep on tweaking the sheet. Let's say I add another row for, I don't know, Los Angeles. And let's just keep the same set of titles. If I run this, so it will actually extract the entire sheet in real time. And yeah, as you can see now, Los Angeles, this entry is there as well. So you can obviously keep on changing, keep on tweaking the titles. Again, I've performed a very simple search. I've just referred the titles, looked for, enabled a similar title search as well. I've even sliced through some seniorities because, let's say, if I'm actually organizing events, if I have any preferences of, let's say, not having, let's say, hands-on people and actually reaching out to leadership, I can do that. If I have some preference around the kind of organization size, I can do that as well. And yeah, so here in this case, for each city cross title combination, we are going to extract up to 500 people. In interest of time, I've already done that. And then I've used a very simple persona classifier where I've actually referred the title, headline, employment history, and performed a simple relevant or irrelevant classifier. In Shainto's case, as it was relevant, like over there, instead of this, we had actually returned people in the very distinct persona types, uh, which can be, let's say, in this case, we have just figured whether they're actually relevant for quality testing, etc. But this can evolve into anything you like. Once we have filtered out, we have performed a very simple waterfall email enrichment, which will find me the exact email of a person. By the way, I'll show. So when we return emails, we even return you the like what exactly is a provider and the email deliverability status as well. And by the way, if it's not deliverable or not verified, we don't charge a cent.
One India, one pipeline production. ఈ ప్రాజెక్ట్ పబ్లిక్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ వాళ్ళే ప్రారంభించలేదు గవర్నమెంట్ అన్ని చేయాలని అనుకున్నాడు ప్రైవేట్ వాళ్ళ ప్రాంతం కూడా అవసరం there is nothing unconstitutional about one India, one pipeline project.
We have some background noise. Shantu,
Yeah.
can we figure
Vivek,
out?
can you mute yourself? I am unable to mute. Okay, back.
Perfect. So, by the way, just to introduce, like for example, like in this case, we have just performed waterfall enrichment, and all the relevant people along with their title, LinkedIn, verified emails have just been returned in the sheet. So I can just keep on switching cities, keep on running this, and I will always be able to build lists, very hyper focused lists, on which I can actually perform reach outs. Before going deeper or into diverging into other use cases, I also wanted to showcase. So for example, especially in, let's say, stuff where we're writing prompts and iterating, we have this functionality called test mode. So in this case, what I have done was, like, in interest of time, given waterfall enrichments take time, I have just enabled this test mode. So what it does is that no matter how many inputs it receives, it will just take the first 5 inputs and perform the exact execution like any other block. But in this case, you won't be charged a single cent. So let's say if I tweak this, if I want to play around with this prompt, try to classify people into different personas, I can simply enable this test mode, and all your runs will be absolutely free. And at the end of the day, as long as you don't get the value, you won't have to pay a single cent. Cool. So after that, I've simply dumped this into a single Google Sheet. And yes, any questions here?
Actually, I think Radha, on top of this, we also integrated instantly and did the entire campaign also. But a few interesting things that happened when we were doing this, and we thought that this was a very good way of list building, is that once you find a certain persona within an existing organization, so in the case of Test Sigma, for example, unless there's an automation tester present, it is almost impossible to kind of judge a very high intent for a company to buy, right? So in that case, so for example, in our case also, for example, unless a marketing ops person is present, the intent to buy will be the highest in those kind of teams. So we can further kind of not personalize, right, prioritize these accounts, and then do a deeper research about every member of the team to understand if the structure kind of can give us an understanding of how much there is a need for a tool like NRev, etc. And we prioritized all those accounts, and then did a very, very personalized reach outs based on all the information we found about all the team members. So this can kind of go in on different iterations, and we especially felt when we iterated 3 or 4 times on the types of the type of research that we are doing about these companies, we were able to find very, very targeted companies. I think in our registration there were around 350 registrations that we had for our Bangalore event, and even amongst them, I mean, all of them were targeted, and unfortunately we couldn't have everyone there. But it really helped us not look at very large quantities of data and do very large quantities of outreach even without that, since they were very targeted outreach and very focused on companies which would have such a requirement. It gave us quite a bit of an edge. Awesome. So I think if there are no questions, or I'll keep checking the discussion chat. But since we have a little bit more time, I think we'll try to end this by 9:45 or in another like 10 minutes ish. But since if there are questions, happy to answer that. Else, Aradhya, we had a backup workflow to show, which was fairly powerful, and a lot of our customers or people using NRev have been using, which is finding who is talking about your competitors. It can be specific to LinkedIn, or it can be on different channels as well. But the one specific to LinkedIn is something that we were thinking of showing if there are no questions.
Cool. I think if we don't have any other questions, so we can just jump to, I think we have 10 minutes, right? So we can actually time box this within 10 minutes where we'll actually build a workflow where we'll figure out over the last week what kind of mentions my competitor has gotten on LinkedIn. And then we'll sort of branch it out into two parts. So if the person actually fits my persona or my relevant ICP, then we'll slice it off and keep it in one place. And if let's say the post is already getting high engagements, then we'll sort of create a, I would say, a battle card kind of a comment using a single prompt, and we will nominate all the high engagement posts and what exactly should be the comment associated with them. So I'll just share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yep.
Awesome. So as you can see, I just have added two domains, browserstack.com and lambda test. So here, just to start off, we'll add a very simple scheduler so that this automation actually keeps on happening in truly automated manner. So let's just say every week on Monday at let's say 9 a.m. we want this workflow to run, and we can just hit run here. Now, just to showcase the kind of bells and whistles that are already there, just to open up your minds, and also show the kind of blocks we have. So on NRev, we get a dedicated AI toolkit where you can simply refer models, ask and just run prompts like you do on ChatGPT, but at a huge scale. Here we also have file search and web research capabilities. Then we have also tried to curate this toolkit in order to give you a lot more than just prompting. So for your very stock standard use cases like classification, web scraping of pages, scoring, ranking, etc., we have dedicated nodes so that they are already fine-tuned to perform the best for these use cases. So you don't have to actually get too deep into prompts. Then for company data, we have a bunch of things around getting their customers, news, tech stack, vendors, and even searching for companies based on a few criteria. LinkedIn scraping is something that we'll be using thoroughly here, so we'll get to it. But as you can see, without providing any APIs, cookies, you can simply just go in and get comments by a person, get their live profiles. If you have a specific post, then what people reacted on it and stuff like that. For people data, again, you can enrich them, get their e-waterfall emails, phones, and even perform Google searches at scale, by the way. Also, we have a bunch of tools that you can integrate with, and this is a constantly evolving list. If you feel that you need any specific tool, we can make it live within a day. But yes, this ensures that everything stays in your flow of work. Anyway, so in this case, what I'll do is I'll just import this Google Sheet. So I have my account connected already. I'll just search for this competitor mention sheet and import the competitors. Yeah. So my competitors are here. Now, in order to get their mentions, I can actually extract their entire LinkedIn profile and get a unique company ID. So I can just refer this, get company profile, and on the basis of the domain, I can just refer the domain. I can actually extract their entire LinkedIn profile. So we can just hit run here. Yeah, it's done. So it's actually went in, gone in and scraped the entire pages. So let's just check out the results. Yeah. So for browser stack, we have the domain, description, employee range, count, the exact follower count, HQ stuff, and a lot more. The list keeps going on. So for data cleanliness, I will just retain the columns that are important for me. So I can actually delete the other remaining columns. So let's just select all, and I'll just keep the company and the domain. And let's just hit run. And now comes the fun part. So I can actually go here, and we have a dedicated search LinkedIn posts block. So there are two versions. This is the more powerful one. Yeah. So here I'll just refer the company ID. I can even drop in keywords to just filter on the basis of the person who posted it, or even if there is some specific mention of a keyword within the post text. But for now, we can just keep it simple. I'll just filter it to last week. I've mentioned the company ID, and I can hit run. So here, for 3 cents, it returns up to 50 posts within the specific criteria, and we can actually check out the outputs. By the way, okay, so both of them get quite a lot. So yeah, as you can see, browser stack. For this, we actually get the LinkedIn URL of the person who posted, their title, the exact posting time, even the post URL. So let's just check this out. So here we can actually check out the post and see if browser stack was tagged or not. Yeah. So browser stack was specifically tagged here. But I think in this case, it's about some sort of an event or anything like that. So here we can actually, just, by the way, we also get the post text here as well. So you don't actually have to open it. So everything comes in. After that, what we can do is, let's say we'll just call an AI classifier to figure out whether the posts are relevant or not. So here, by the way, rather than writing the prompt, on each and every node, you can actually drop in a simple text, and it can generate the configurations for any block. So here, I can simply say, using the post text, classify the posts into 3 parts, 3 categories. Let's say event attendance, product critique, and I don't know, hiring updates. Many times people post stuff like that. And finally, others also. Number 4, others. Keep the prompts detailed. Yeah, so it's mentioned the contents for classification, written a detailed prompt, and even created the classification keys. So here we can just declare the name as post type, and that's it. Now we have just called an AI, and it will perform 98 AI classifications in almost no time because everything on NRev is built for scale. So while it does that, we can just filter out the ones which will be irrelevant. So we can actually call in a filter node. And here we can drop in a bunch of criteria like post type is not equal to others. And we can even, just drop in something like num likes should be greater than, let's say, 25. Oops, maybe I pressed something wrong. Just a sec. Post type is not equal to others. No. Yeah. And it's actually qualified 38 posts. And as you can see, here we have all the kind of posts that that are relevant to us. And now I can actually go in and say that, okay, So I'll just go in and I can actually generate a comment here. So let's say based on the post text given below, generate a comment showcasing why lambda test is going to be more relevant. By the way, you can even upload some battle cards or some product offering related stuff here, but I'm just playing around. So I'll just refer the post text. I can select a relevant model. In this case, let's go with 5 mini. And as you can see, I can enable web research and even dictate whether I want a structured output or whether I want to behave it just like ChatGPT does. So I can actually go for a structured output. And let's say, I'll say comment text. So I can actually declare 25 word comment. And let's say product mentions exact product mentions period. Yeah, so we can just hit test mode and generate a comment here. And then, yeah, I mean, the world is a canvas. You can send Slack notifications that, hey, you need to comment on this post. You can dump it in a Google Sheet. And by the way, very soon we're actually going to come up with LinkedIn automations as well, where as long as we have your LinkedIn profile, we can actually go in and comment on your behalf. Any questions? By the way, it's already done.
Yeah, I had a few questions in my DM, so I've responded to them.
Awesome.
Awesome. That took less than 10 minutes and almost rounded up by 9:45.
Yeah.
Great. So hope you guys had some takeaways. As I mentioned, all who joined will get an email. And in case you don't get that email with the workflows that are here, or if there are any requests for further automations of any new workflows, do let me know. My LinkedIn channel or my email is always available for you to reach out. It's available on the Luma page where you register. We'll send across these workflows that we just discussed. And in case there are any requests for the any new ones, happy to help you out in setting those. Sorry, I'm getting just.
I'm also dropping our plays link as well, where you can actually copy a lot more workflows. I mean, for this conversation, we actually built the bang basic stuff, but over here, you can explore a lot more sophisticated flows and build themselves out.
Yeah. Hi, Aradhya and Sayanta. This is Anjaney Lujenda from Hyderabad. We met recently, right? So, yeah, actually, are we adding any new sort of AI agent models which is related to especially creatives in general? Like, let's say, Facebook creatives, LinkedIn creatives. Are we adding any sort of those modules into it in general?
Let Aradhya take this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, our models are actually constantly expanding. But yeah, I mean, post this call, we can actually, explore your use cases. And yeah, usually it takes us more from somewhere between 7 days to a couple of weeks to bring in new vendors across the board.
Okay, so actually we are exploring for a couple of agents which is related to like marketing agency perspective in general.
Mm-hmm.
So like where we need a couple of agents which can perform a couple of tasks, especially like creative automation, like landing page automation and reporting automation, couple of those things. But I hope like if that can be added, or like let's say that can be divided as separate platform altogether also, it's good in general.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, we can discuss this in a lot more details, and I'll be more than eager. I mean, this looks like a new territory for us. And I mean, that's the whole point of NRev, that rather than exploring point solutions for different use cases, you can actually drag and drop blocks and build as many things as possible yourself.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's sync offline post this call, and we'll be eager to just test it, get tested, and figure out and brainstorm different solutions for different problems.
Yep, sure.
Yeah.
Yep, thank you.
Oh, sorry, I was talking on mute. Thank you everyone for joining. We'll end the webinar here and catch you all next Thursday.
Thank you.